There we go. Okay, that took... I don't know, my streaming software, which is just OBS, was being very uncooperative of me there, or with me there. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be working on Nightmare Bonnie's bottom jaw, because he needs a bottom jaw. To be honest, Nightmare Bonnie has a very, odd bottom jaw compared to a lot of them. It's not going to be hard at all. It's a pretty simple design, but it's very big for some reason. And I don't entirely know why, but whatever. Again, it's not going to be that big of an issue, so in order to do the bottom jaw, we're going to need to, trace out where it's going to be around this. Nightmare Bonnie has a bit of a, their bottom jaw is bigger than their upper jaw. Hello, Galaxy Doggo. Welcome to the stream. It's very... I don't know. So, it's not that much bigger, but it does protrude out a little bit more than most of the other Nightmare characters do. So we're going to have to take that into account when we do this. So in order to make the bottom jaw, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to trace out the basic shape onto a flat piece of cardboard. Hello, Mr. Pinecone. Welcome to the stream. So first we're going to start out back here, and hold on, I'm going to pull up a... Actually, I have, actual physics references. Corkboard. I'm not sure how well you guys can hear. If I have that, I'm just kind of grabbing them real quick. Alright, there we are. Two little pictures of Nightmare Bonnie right here. They're black and white, because I didn't want to waste ink, but I don't really need color here. I know color is what. So yeah. Cosplay should you do after... if you haven't already, I guess if you wanted to be thematic with it, you would, it only makes sense to do Spring Bonnie next. That way you can have those two. That's actually something similar to what I did, except I made Spring Bonnie first. So, but just so that you have, a complete little duo there, I guess. But other than that, you can pretty much do whatever character, you want, I guess. Whichever one you think is cooler, or whatever, tickles your fancy. Not really my place to, kind of tell you what you should or shouldn't make a cosplay out of, you know? Hopefully we can get this spot on as possible. It's kind of hard to trace around the cheeks just because of their shape, and usually the bottom jaw doesn't go out underneath the cheeks. And now here's where things get interesting. The bottom jaw kind of protrudes right about here. It doesn't curve in with the snout like a lot of other characters do, so we gotta kind of build that in too. Trying to get this angle tight without moving the head. There we go. Oh, this pencil's very dull. I need to sharpen it soon. Good look. You can't really see it that well on camera, but I'm kind of trying to figure out what's going on here. Hello, Edgar, sorry. I almost said Arthur Edger. I am not very good at reading, and doing it at the weird angle that I am is kind of odd. I just realized I didn't really get that good of an actual trace around this side. I kind of fill in the blanks. So if we fill in stuff here, we got a nice little... I'm not sure how well this is going to turn out on camera when I show it to you guys, but it's a nice little weird, uneven circle. just to kind of go around the face, almost like an oval. So that is going to be like that, and we're gonna start cutting this out now. I'm gonna have to get that head out of the way. Oh, actually, hold on. I just looked at the pictures I got here. My reference images, and I want to kind of make some adjustments to what I did here, because it looks like it kind of curves in a little bit more here than what I ended up doing. We're gonna kind of like make this part more narrow. Other than that, I'd say what we did so far was pretty good. Then I'm gonna take the head, kind of compare how that looks. The head is sitting like this. One more final. I need to sharpen this pencil repeatedly. Hard to do. I'm right-handed. I gotta like reach over. There's probably a smarter way to do this, but I am too dumb to figure it out. There we go. So that kind of makes the bottom jaw a little bit more curved in, kind of like what we see in this picture here. I'm not even sure if you can see that very well. His bottom jaw kind of like curves in, and I realize I have not been looking at the chat. That's been going. Oh my god. Hello everybody who is here now. Sorry about that. I've been kind of like scatterbrained today. This was a very last minute stream decision. I was going to wait until Saturday, like an entire week, and like maybe do some like make more progress on the head. However, I ended up needing to what is it? I'm going to be going over to my brother's house to work on like yard work and stuff for the weekend, so I won't be home all weekend. So I decided, instead of like making you guys wait longer than you should, I would get this live stream kind of done early. That way you guys would have something for the next week. Hello Julio, welcome to the stream. Hello, Sir Boxiness. Welcome to the stream. Sorry. I know I'm reading these out of order. I'm just kind of like seeing them on there. I need to get like I have a second monitor, but I can't. It's hard to really hook it up in the way that I normally live stream. What I'm thinking about doing is trying to get a way to get like an external camera to work. That way, one, the stream looks better, and two, I could have more maneuverability without having to like drag my laptop and place it somewhere where it doesn't really fit. And I might start live streaming over by where my workbench is, which is literally just over there. And that's where I do all the stuff that like that's where I build frames and like most of that kind of stuff. I work on all the stuff with fabric and whatnot, mostly on the floor just because I need the extra space with what I'm doing. So yeah. Do I have enough materials? I definitely should, because I have a lot of cardboard. This isn't all that I have. I have way more over there. I have some extra sheets that I'm going to be using for something later, kind of up here, just kind of ready for me. I have a surplus of the fabric, or blue fabric, that I use to wrap the head and the snout. Oh, I did end up wrapping the snout, by the way, as you guys can see. It took a bit to complete. I also added a little EVA foam, kind of like little mesh thing, because it looks like there's some weird like bit of framework underneath there that's like a shade of black in a lot of the pictures of Withered Bonnie. So I decided to put that in. You may notice I do the same thing with the bottom jaws for most of the other Nightmare animatronics that I've done too. I'm gonna... What was I gonna say? completely lost my train of thought there. Whoops. I believe I am subscribed to you. At least last I checked. That would have been... Pretty sure I did it sometime between the last stream. I normally don't do the whole sub for sub thing, though. Sorry about that. How do I not cut my carpet? The knife is very dull, for the most part. Carpet's mostly fine. It's also old carpet that we're probably going to replace later. We already replaced a bunch of the carpet in my house recently, so there's a good chance this will get replaced soon too. So I'm not really worried about it, because again, this carpet is old. Oh heck. Good night, Fire Kid. Thank you for showing up to the stream while you did. Nice having you around. Oh, it's still giving you problems on Discord? Oh no. Sorry. I literally have no idea how to fix this. I'm not a big, like, I don't really know how Discord works a lot of the time. I barely knew enough to make my own server, pretty much. That's about it. I'm gonna cut this, make this hole bigger. So this hole right here isn't really designed to be like where you'd put a head through. However, if you were wanting to like follow along with this and make it wearable, you definitely want to make it so your head could fit through this hole that we're kind of like tracing out on here. This hole is mostly so that I could put like rod or something on the inside of here so that I can like kind of prop it up and stuff. Yeah, I think that should be big enough for our purposes, but you would probably want to make that a little bit bigger if you were actually like trying to make this wearable. Another thing you'd want to do if you wanted to make this wearable, you'd probably want to do 2D eyes, because with the 3D eyes I have to place this little bar in there to hold them in place, because they're like little foam balls on sticks that are kind of like just stuck into this little like bar right here. I'm not sure if you can really see it that well with all the shadows and whatnot. Yeah. Can I do a music video, the Showtime song from Help Wanted? I don't really do music videos that much, and also I have no idea how I would go about doing that. Maybe I could eventually. I'm not going to put that off the table, but it's probably going to be part of a larger project, like a minor thing, like inside of an episode of Give Gifts Give Life or something like that. I don't know. As far as like my Five Nights at Freddy's shorts, I mostly focus on Give Gifts Give Life. Even with the like weird one-off shorts that I do, like I did with the videos Give Life and Give Gifts, which were their own separate videos. Those were like just kind of like me having fun in my free time, just like going into the editor and putting something together out of like footage that I mostly already had. Give Gifts, the little short 2-minute like film that I made that was like I don't remember how long ago I made that. That was recent though. It was like the most recent like non-cosplay thing that I did, or prop thing that I did. That was literally all made out of footage that I already had on my camera, or like I had pre-recorded. Some of that footage was from all the way back in 2015, which is over 5 years ago at this point, which is terrifying to me. Because, my god, that's old. Why do I still have footage that old? Okay, so that's looking pretty good so far. Next up, we're gonna wanna make this bottom jaw 3D. What we're gonna do is we're going to get some cardboard strips and then kind of wrap it around and then glue it down. You'll see what I mean. because we're about to do it. I'm gonna need my paper trimmer though, which I got right here. I made sure I had the foresight to grab some. This is a bit too skinny. I don't know what to grab that. But we're gonna use these to kind of like cut out strips. My favorite Trevor Henderson creature. That is a good question. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I like the Country Road Monster. That one's pretty creepy. So for this, I'm making these about 2.5 inches tall. This might be a bit too tall, but I wanted to see how it looked because Nightmare Bonnie's got like a pretty big bottom jaw. We're going to be tearing off parts of this too, so it's going to end up being a lot shorter than it actually is. So I think starting off, cutting these strips out at 2.5 inches would be probably the best. Sorry, but I don't really do collaborations. That's just kind of a me thing. I like to work on my own, as evidenced by the fact that, like, no one else shows up in my short films unless they're family. That's just kind of me being socially anxious, too, though. I did make a community post with a Discord link before, and I thought that still was giving people issues. For some reason, I think I can only have, like, one permalink at a time, and I have, like, each video, I kept generating a new one. So I could do one more link. The link in here, or in the description here, I don't remember if that one currently works or not. If it doesn't, I will definitely have to change it. So, if you want to try that one, let me know how that works out. Yeah. Nice. Nice. I've never actually been in, like, very many school clubs or nothing, now that I think about it. There were a bunch that I thought about doing, especially in elementary school, but the only thing that I ever ended up doing, like... Well, I guess my TV broadcast class did a lot of out-of-school activities and stuff, so I guess that could count as, like, a club. But that was also just, like, an actual class that was being taught there. But I did end up joining fencing for a while in 7th grade, which was pretty fun. Just goes. Honestly, your first few, like, the first, like, couple of, like, projects you do will almost always be kind of undesirable, like, to look at, because you're still getting used to how to, like, do stuff. I need more hot glue. So you're not gonna, like, be able to make stuff that look good, when you first start out. Because with this kind of thing, even if you watch a bunch of videos or tutorials on how to do stuff, you still are lacking any kind of experience in actually doing stuff like that. So, at that point, you want to, again, like I've said, usually when it comes to, like, getting into this kind of stuff, the best thing to do is just to jump right into it, feet first, and kind of just start making stuff, which is what I did years ago. And now I'm making stuff like this. Getting tips and stuff from, like, other sources is usually good too, though. Don't get me wrong. There's something wrong with these hot glue sticks. They're, like, slightly the wrong size for my glue gun. And it's annoying because they, Here's the fun part. We're gonna just sit here and wait until this dries, I guess. not spamming my chat. Greatly appreciated. Mostly because I like to actually read the chat. I actually remember using string for the mouth movements of one of my, what was it? It was for my old Freddy head. I ended up, like, using the string, and I, like, attached it to my actual mouth, so it would, like, actually move whenever I moved my mouth up and down, which, is not the best thing if you can get away with it, but it was a fun little project. I ended up doing away with that string, though, soon after I made it. I had actually forgotten that I had done that, after a while. That was like this first bit of hot glue that we put on here is, finally almost getting dry. Hello, Carolina Martinez, even though I know that's not your actual name, if, you know, you're on your mother's account. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Again, with my old Freddy head, it used to, like, I needed to constantly keep fixing it, because it was, like, and when I say my old Freddy head, I mean, like, the cardboard box one that I made back in, 2014. And part of the cheek kept, like, trying to come undone, so I constantly had to keep fixing that, so it wouldn't. Because even though I wouldn't really say it would have looked withered if it did that, so it wasn't even, like, an aesthetic thing if I let it fall apart like that. Hello, Vivid. Welcome to the stream. Just as a recap for anyone who's currently tuning in, we are currently making the bottom jaw Nightmare Bonnie, which takes a lot of time. Currently, this jaw might be a little bit too big, but we're going to have to kind of, like, wither the top of this anyways, and to do that, we're literally just going to tear, like, a bit of it off, just to kind of make it rough and uneven, but yeah. That's fair, Sir Boxiness. I actually kept my first Freddy head. It is currently in storage underneath my bed, because underneath my bed is like a little, like, cubby. It's like a little crawl space underneath my bed. I don't know why they designed it like that, but my bed is, like, raised up, so, like, someone could actually crawl underneath. I have it stored at, like, the very back of that. That's also where I store all of the body pieces. Like the torsos and arms and legs and stuff. That's where I mostly store that stuff, whenever it's not being used for filming or for Halloween or stuff. But I still have that. I'm definitely gonna keep that. I already burned 2 of my other old masks, though, which were Golden Freddy and Spring Bonnie when I replaced them. Eventually, I might burn my other masks, my old Bonnie, Foxy, and Chica masks, but I'm definitely going to keep, my Freddy head just because it was my first and I want to, like, look back in it. EVA foam. What kind of props? Because I do use some of it for parts here. I use it for the noses and stuff. But I feel like for these guys, it's best to just use cardboard, because one, it's cheaper, and two, you won't actually see the cardboard once it's completely done. But I will probably use EVA foam for another project. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do the toy animatronics. I've been thinking either paper mache or the EVA foam, but I'm going to need to buy thinner sheets if I want to do that, because the sheets I've been using for like the accents of these and like the nose and stuff, they're really thick, which is a bit of a what is it? It's a what is it? It's a bit of a. Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought again. When it's too thick, it's harder to work with, like if you're trying to bend it or like shape it in ways you want. For Nightmare Chica's beak, I ended up having to, what is it? I ended up having to, I used a thinner sheet of EVA foam, for the beak on Nightmare Chica. Sorry, I'm really scatterbrained right now. Again, I've got a lot of stuff on my mind because I've been having to do other stuff. And once again, this is a very, very, what's it called? It's a very last-minute stream again for reasons I kind of said earlier, which I won't repeat myself. Will I ever make the glam rocks? Maybe, but not anytime soon. It's going to be like, probably like years until I make them. Unless I decide, like, screw it, and I decide to make them, like, soon after the game comes out, which is also a possibility. But I like to focus on the characters that I will need first, and I like focusing on the classic, like, Scott Cawthon games instead of the Steel Wool ones. Yeah, paper mache does end up looking like really wrinkly. So, you know, I probably won't end up doing it because, what is it? It's just hard to sand down and stuff. I'm also trying to figure out how I'm going to do the endoskeleton head in here. Originally, I was thinking I could just do that out of EVA foam. And like just have like a sheet of EVA foam over here and not like do the entire endoskeleton head, but that might be a bit difficult to end up doing. I could also, what is it? I was thinking I could get like a floral foam ball though, and kind of carve into it. And just kind of like carve a little pattern and stuff. That's similar to the Nightmare Animatronics endoskeleton design. Just to kind of get that stuff all done. So there's something, I don't have to get too detailed with it, because again, it's going to be pushed in the back and permanently inside the head. It's not like I'm going to be making, like, separate prop for the endoskeleton head. That's actually not a bad idea. Like, when am I going to use a Nightmare endoskeleton head? Because I don't really need it for any of the other characters. I'd only really make it just to make it at that point. Because, like, you can't really see the endoskeleton inside of the other characters as well as Nightmare Bonnie, so I'm probably just gonna... Here we go. So what we're doing now is we put a second slab on because it's just... I wouldn't say easier, it's just more convenient to do, like, different strips of cardboard kind of going around. Just because it's harder to, like, find cardboard that's gonna come in, like, one long strip that's gonna go all the way around. So yeah, we're on the second little strip of cardboard, and then after this, it looks like we're only going to need about one more. So... hopefully, we'll be done with this soon enough. This is like my least favorite part of like doing anything, is like having to wait for stuff like this to like finish. I just put my finger right on hot. Luckily for me, it like cooled down enough that it like didn't burn me. The reason why I don't like this is because I'm just like sitting here holding something for like a good like 5 minutes, and then I have to like do it again for another 5 minutes once like this part dries. And it's not the most fun thing to be doing, but whatever. I didn't just mute him, I hid him from the channel because he was kind of like being toxic to like other people in the chat. If I had like a chat that was going like way faster, something like that, and it was, what was it? Harder to, what is it? And it was harder for people to like actually like target other people in the chat. I probably wouldn't have cared that much because like that's gonna happen on the internet, but you know, when the chat's like as, you know, normal paced as mine is, it just kind of becomes personal for people when they start seeing like, you know, people like targeting them in the, what's it called? Yeah. Okay, so with this, we have just like about one more of these. Yeah, we're only going to need like one more of these cardboard strips. We're going to wait for this part to dry, and then we're going to move on ahead and do this last strip, and then the actual like main portion of the bottom jaw will be done. Then it's just a matter of like kind of tearing this down a bit and like whittling it so it kind of gets to a more normal kind of not a normal height, but like we want to get like a good amount of withering on the bottom jaw just to make it look good. And I just realized he has a hole. He's got holes in his bottom jaw. I'm gonna have to do that. I wasn't paying attention. That's totally a thing I'm gonna have to do. There's two ways I could go about doing this. The easier way is to just like not actually cut any holes into this and leave it as like just sort of leave it as, like, leave the little, like, base work that we have right here as is, when we wrap it up in fabric, and then cut holes in the fabric and slide, like, black fabric underneath, which actually wouldn't look too bad with how these tears are on his bottom jaw, because we're just going to be putting something underneath it. The other way is that we could actually start cutting holes into here, which is kind of good, but it's also a bit of a, issue because then it starts interfering with how we're going to put in the teeth and stuff. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to do first option where we leave this like the main frame of this as is, and then just cut holes in the fabric and like kind of put something on the underside. Yeah, I did end up hiding his other account too. Just I actually hid that first account or the alt account he defaulted to when I muted his main one first, because I figured having a second alt account able to be on here if I'm gonna use it, that kind of stuff. Oh yeah. I don't really like muting or like doing that kind of stuff to people. It was bad. Next part. This is going to be the easiest one because we already got most of this framework. But before, we're gonna have to trim this part down here a bit, but I'm not gonna do that just yet. What was I saying? I'm gonna wait until we have like at least this first part glued, just so that it's more stable. Oh, if you guys want, once I'm done kind of gluing this stuff in, I could also get up and go grab the earpieces, because I did finish those. All of those are done. They have, like, the secondary, like, little coloring on them that they have at the center. I don't know what the actual term for that is. But if you guys want, I could go grab that and bring them over here so you guys can see how that turned out so far. They don't have, like, the little metal rods and stuff in them yet that I'm going to be putting to kind of, like, simulate a bit of, like, an endoskeleton underneath. Mostly because I'm going to be putting the ears in last, because when I'm doing stuff with the teeth and, like, the bottom jaw, the ears are just going to kind of, like, counterweight everything and make it even harder for me to, kind of keep the head in place, because the ears are so big and floppy. So I'm going to wait until later to actually get those in place, just because it's more convenient for me. So those are probably going to be the very final step. I've also had the eyes completely cut out, or not cut out. What am I saying? I've had the the actual eyeballs completely spray painted and stuff for a while, along with the teeth. I had to buy another set of toy bullets for the teeth. Honestly, I've realized that toy bullets aren't, like, the most realistic thing to, or not the most accurate way to, like, make the teeth. Whether or not they're realistic is completely debatable. But I do like how they look, which is why I keep going for them. And also, it's a lot more convenient, because I could just spend $10 and I don't have to make the rest of this guy's teeth, like, from scratch. When the teeth are, like, square and stuff, or, like, white, then I'll actually use, like, styrofoam or something, which is what I normally use. But yeah. That should hopefully be dry enough for me to just, like, be able to set that down there. As you can see, this is what we got so far for Nightmare Bonnie's bottom jaw. I'm not really 100% sure how an accent can, like, cross over into text. That's more of, like, dialect type. But I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyways, for the same blueprint. Nice. Greyhawk Glue Gun Brothers for life. So this is how the ears are looking so far, as you could kind of see. There's probably going to be a bit more of a gap between them, like when I actually put them together and stuff. Put the head on. I'm not sure if you're going to see the entirety of this. Yeah, but that's probably how it's going to look. I can't tell how it's going to look on stream just yet because there's a bit of a delay. Yeah, you can't even see most of those ears. Or most of the ear. I gotta be careful to keep the earpieces with each other, because I've gotten them mixed up on numerous times. Luckily, they have so much withering on them that it's easy to, like, tell which one's which, because it's kind of unique to each one, but it takes me a moment to, like, map out which ear is what. This one is left, and this one is... Or other way around, I just got them mixed up. Okay. So, now that this thing is completely dry, we can... Ah, god damn it. I'd love to look at the chat, but a pop-up for the goddamn Epic Game Store showed up. I despise that so much. It's not the worst, it's just for some reason it's really laggy on my computer. I don't even know why. Steam isn't that bad or anything. It's just specifically the Epic Games launcher. And I only got it because I wanted to get games for free, because they do like a free game every week, I think? It's either free game every week or month. I don't remember. But that's a pretty good deal. but for some reason they give me pop-ups every now and then, and it's annoying as all hell. Not even Steam does that unless it's like a friend playing something, and then that I can kind of get. But I don't know why it's it's like excruciatingly annoying for me. Just because for some reason it just really gets on my nerves. And then every time I try to get one of those free games that I like installed Epic Games for, oh my god, it always, I have not been able to play a single game that I have like gotten off of the Epic Games Store so far. I don't know what it is, but like all of the games on there have, what was it, given me some kind of like issues when I try to open them up and run them. And I have no idea what it is, and it annoys the hell out of me. But at least I technically got those games anyway, so yeah. Right, here we go. We are close to having torn all the way through this, and now we got this way more kind of like grungy looking torn up bottom jaw that kind of suits the nightmares a little bit better. How does this look? I put this. Ooh, I like how that looks. I think that looks pretty good actually. I was worried that I made it too tall, but that's like perfect. There we go. There's Nightmare Bonnie with his bottom jaw kind of there. It's not really fleshed out yet. So next up, how much time we got on the stream so far? 42 minutes. That's pretty good. We still got like a good like 50 minutes for me to be doing stuff. I want to leave in about excuse me, when the stream gets to about an hour and a half long. That's when I'm probably going to be leaving. But just like last time, I don't like doing streams for too long, mostly because I got stuff to do around the time when it kind of hits that, because I like to do 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, I believe it is. I think that's the time zone I'm in. So yeah. So next up, we're going to be wrapping this up in fabric. So first we're going to do the blue fabric, and to kind of save time later, we're going to kind of cut enough extra fabric around the sides so that when we wrap it in, here, I'll show it on this side, so that when we wrap it in, it kind of covers up the inside too, so we don't have to like go back and add extra fabric or anything like that. It just makes things way more convenient than it like this. So we're gonna want to make this a little bit more. I tend to get pretty messy when I'm like wrapping bottom jaws up in fabric, so good. Hello Amber, welcome to the stream. What did you miss? Not too much. We did finish the bottom jaw, which we are currently working on wrapping up in fabric, right at the moment. Start cutting this out. It's better to cut out way more fabric than you're actually going to use than way too little, because even if it ends up wasting fabric in the long run, you at least don't ruin whatever you're making, which is why I always cut out way more than I end up using. It leads to me having a lot of scraps though, which I need to find a creative use for, because I feel bad like getting rid of all that fabric after, even though it's cheap, I still did spend money on it, so I don't know. I need to figure something out. There we go. How much fabric do I have left out? Like, something with it? I don't know. That's not too bad though. So yeah, there we go. We have a big sheet of blue fabric to kind of put around this entire thing. Wait for the no. Me neither, my boy. I cannot wait either. I'm really hoping it's gonna be good. I don't want, like, because most video game movies end up terribly. Or end up terrible. So, hopefully, they figured out how to make a good one. By this point, you'd hope they would. I feel like there have been, like, some good video game movies that I'm forgetting about now, though. So we're gonna put hot glue kind of all around here. There we go. Then we're just gonna gently lay this back down and kind of press it into fabric. Pull it in all directions. Tighten it so it's not loose. Or we keep it as unloose as we can. There we go. Then we're gonna let that cool for a bit. Get a fabric cutter. I definitely should get a fabric cutter. That would be a good investment. I have no idea. How much are those? If they're not too expensive, I would definitely get one. The only reason why I have a paper cutter that I have been using to cut cardboard is because I got that for free, actually. Yeah, Scott was pretty picky when he was going through script ideas, which makes me feel a little bit better, because the reason why a lot of video game tie-in movies are really bad is because they're just, like, cash grabs, and, like, people are, like, big companies are, like, trying to rush it so that they can have, like, or they could get the game out, or get the movie out, to ride the hype of whatever game it is, and it usually turns out bad. But if we're lucky, that will not be the case with good old Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a pretty like, the game itself would probably translate pretty well into a movie, or at least the lore of the game. The games themselves would not translate to a movie at all, like, very well, because that's just like a guy working the night shift at a, you know, a pizza place. And, you know, of course stuff does go wrong, but I feel like it'd be pretty boring for the most part anyways, because you need to put a lot of filler in there to make it a full-length movie. But making it about the story behind the games would be pretty good. But yeah, now we're gonna start. Now that, like, I'm pretty sure the areas around here are dry, we're gonna be able to start, I need more hot. We're gonna be able to start putting the fabric up around the edges, and to do that, we're actually going to be putting the glue on the inside here, both on the wall and kind of down here. I like doing both on, like, the little wall here and kind of down on the bottom, just because it kind of helps get stuff a bit more thorough. And then we're gonna pull this and match it up with the glue like that. Hey, Sports TY, congrats on getting a hot glue gun. They're pretty useful. I do not know why I just stood up. I think I was about to go grab more hot glue sticks, but I don't need more. I got, like, 2 extra spare ones right now that I just completely, like, brain farted on. And so while this side is drying, I'm going to quickly do this side as well, doing the same thing we did over here. Something about, like, the size of these glue sticks is, like, slightly off for some reason. Like, when I first put the glue stick in, I kind of have to, like, press them down in order to get them to actually feed into the hot glue gun. Otherwise, they'll just kind of, like, idly sit, or loosely sit there, and it just does not work at all. And it's pretty bad. Not the worst, though. I'm not worried about, like, getting the front of his jaw kind of, like, cleaned up at the front, because we are just going to be wrapping this in a lighter blue fabric that I got right here in a bit, because the front of his jaw is a different color than the rest of it, kind of like at his snout area. The question is, how do I do this part? I mostly just wing it with bottom jaws, which is why they always kind of look like they have slightly worse wrapping and fabric and stuff. That little corner down. We're gonna have to do a lot of trimming. I got a lot of extra fabric that I cut out here. But that's okay. We can use the scraps to like fill in any blank spots in the bottom jaw later. I'm mostly just kind of trimming this stuff over here right now to get it out of the way. Fabric scrap right there. And we're gonna do this too. Similar. Go. Oh, that's actually something similar to what I used to do. When I first needed to do wires, I actually used to take streamers and then I rolled them up super tight. And you couldn't tell on camera, for the most part, unless you got really close up. But it did not look that good in person, like, at all. And I ended up using kind of like the inside, like copper wire from the insides of like Cat 5 and Cat 6 cables, because we have a lot of those lying around where we're at my house. Just because, I guess. There we go. We're getting the rest of this kind of like pushed down in there. I'm gonna trim some more of this out just because it's way a little bit. Not the biggest fan of how it looks. Thank you for tuning into the stream, Amber. Goodbye. What was I gonna say? I try not to, live stream on, well, I used to try to not live stream on, like, weekdays and stuff, just because it was always more convenient to do it on a Saturday, but something happened and I ended up doing it on weekdays anyways. Like today, though I kind of have a different excuse for today since I have to be somewhere, both tomorrow and Saturday, so I won't be able to upload anything this weekend. So yeah, kind of wish, I probably should have prepared like some kind of video, something in the meantime, but I've been working on Nightmare Bonnie here, and he's not done yet, so can't just make a video on him unfinished. I could technically make like a part 1 and a part 2 video, but that, I don't know why I would do that. I could just make one whole video about it and not waste anyone's time. Getting close to wrapping up with wrapping this up in fabric. That was not meant to be a pun, I swear. And yeah. Trim this down on the inside a bit. You can't really tell what I'm doing when I'm trimming on the inside, I realize, because it all blends together on the camera, at least from my little preview window. do that, please. Sometimes when I'm overzealous with the hot glue, it, like, the mechanism that pushes the hot glue in, like, actually chips at the hot glue instead of actually pushing it, which is bad because when it does that, it makes the hot glue too skinny for it to actually, like, functionally push it in, so I'd have to do it manually, and it started to do that, but it wasn't too bad. That's okay, Sir Boxiness, it happens to the best of us. So now we got like all the edges and stuff kind of like wrapped up in cardboard. Now we got to do the center here, which I've already kind of started doing. Sometimes I like to wrap it up, or like how I do the eyes, but I won't in this case because there's already a lot of fabric kind of like around the edges, just because of all the extra fabric that I used. When I said it's better to cut out more fabric than too little, or too much fabric than too little, try to avoid doing this much in excess because I overdid it here. But then again, it is better than cutting out too little because then I would have just wasted a bunch of fabric. But whatever. Good here. That happens all the time, Galaxy Doggo. Sometimes you just zone out, and sometimes you just have, like, no idea what the hell's going on. You know? That kind of thing happens to me way too much, because I zone out way too much. I tend to, like, be in my own little world, like, way too much, just, like, thinking about some random thing instead of, like, what's actually right in front of me. To at least glue down a lot of this spare fabric right here. Just so... we're not going to be putting in teeth at all today. I just want to do the base of the bottom jaw. And then once I get this done, I probably will call it for the stream. Mostly because, one, I do stuff and I have to, whenever the stream finishes up, I have to put everything, or I have to, like, take down the entire, like, streaming setup. It's not, like, a designated, like, thing. Like, I have to move my laptop back over to my desk where it belongs, in between each stream, and then, like, move it back. It's a very tedious process, and takes way too much of my time, but it works, so, whatever. Eventually, though, I swear, I will get an actual second camera once I can afford it, which will hopefully be soon. We have the same scissors, too. Hell yeah. Red-handled tiny kitty scissors for the win. These actually weren't what I originally used back during a Nightmare Foxy live, or the Nightmare Foxy live stream. I only did one. I managed to break the scissors that I was cutting with. See you, Sir Boxiness. Thank you for showing up to the stream. It's been a pleasure. Am I going to do a charity stream? Oh, maybe eventually. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty fun idea. I don't know exactly what I would do, but that would definitely be pretty good. I'd have to set up some kind of, like, donation method or something, I don't know, and figure out how to, like, rig it so it, like, goes to a specific charity, but that would totally be a cool thing to do eventually. How much was it for all the fabric? So if you're going for the same kind of fabric that I had You would probably need... Because Fetch is like a small brown animatronic, right? I'm not too familiar with them as a character because again I haven't read the Fazbear Fright novels. I don't think I've ever like seen anything that he's from, but he's like a small brown dog, right? So you would probably need about 1 yard to 2 yards of brownish fabric, just the kind of fabric that you would need. And sometimes the color affects the price, but normally for me, the brown fabric that I use for like Freddy, that would be around, at most you're going to pay up to like $5 for... Oh, he's gray. Okay, my bad. That would probably still be around the same. That would probably be about... Probably around like $5, $5 to $6 for fabric. And that's after taxes too, so you probably won't be spending any more than that. You could find stuff like that. Make sure it's the same kind of fabric that I'm using though. Well, you don't have to use the same kind of fabric. I'm just saying if you want it to be around that price that I'm listing out, of around like around like $6, $4 to $6, because I actually have I had the actual price tag for the blue flannel stuff that I used right here. Again, I like using flannel because I like the texture of it and it's very, very like malleable. So, yeah. Making Mangle, any tips? I am sorry, I'm still like at a loss on how I'm gonna do the toy animatronics myself. Are you making them out of fabric, or are you making them out of like something else to make them look like they're made out of plastic, which is what I plan on doing? We'll be making the toys, like Toy Freddy, because... yes, I definitely do plan on making the toy animatronics. I've actually talked about it. Those are the characters I want to do once I'm finished with the Nightmare animatronics. It's going to be a bit before I get to that, but I still want to do that. Oh, you're using fabric. Okay, so for that wouldn't be too dissimilar to how I made Withered Foxy, I believe, because they have like the little kind of like things on the side of their cheeks. Mangle, though, theirs is a little bit different. It's kind of hard. I would recommend maybe wrapping... I'm kind of spitballing ideas here. I could be completely wrong, so take everything I say here with a grain of salt, because I haven't tried to do Mangle in forever, so I don't remember everything about their design. But with Mangle, if you're wrapping them in fabric, you should probably wrap the cheeks, like the little cheek segments, in fabric separately, like using their own like strips and stuff, just because. Just curious, did I pre-order? I did not pre-order Sanchi Chica. I could, I get... Nah, I won't I don't know. I probably should, because the pre-order, or those things are probably going to sell out very fast. But yeah. But yeah, making the toy animatronics, it's going to be a while, because again, I gotta finish the Nightmare animatronics, and I'm going to be making Fredbear's full body when I build him. And on top of that, I'm going to be reskinning him, or reskinning Crouchy as him, so I'm going to be building the stuff around him. Similarly, Fredbear, I will not be making his head first. I'm going to make his body first, just because since I'm actually trying to model him around an actual endoskeleton, or yeah, an actual endoskeleton that I already have, I should make the torso first. That way I can kind of better gauge what size I'm going to need everything to be. And so far, we got like a very messy job done here on the bottom jaw. It doesn't really matter though, because with the Nightmare animatronics, they're kind of messy in general. I am going to try to hide some of these cardboard bits that I just noticed, because yeah, I don't want cardboard to be visible in what I'm doing. They re-released, is it Funko who re-released Toy Freddy? A Blink Puppet. Because getting the plushies of the toy animatronics actually might be something that I would want to do. Just for, like, background props and stuff at, like, Prize Corner and whatnot. Just because. To be fair, I want to focus on characters first, though, because for some reason those are the ones we see in FNAF 2. Probably because he didn't model the animatronics as plushies or something. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, it took me a while. I was reading that comment. It took me a while to remember what you were talking about with the animatronic jaw. Doing it on Plush Trap would probably be really good. Doing it on the life-size Fredbear that I'm going to be creating, though, would be a bit of an issue because weight. I don't want to weigh down the actual endoskeleton past its like capacity to like hold stuff at, because I'm already kind of pushing it by making a cardboard thing out of it when the original like costume that it was supposed to have on it was just like a shirt, pretty much like a shirt and pants that like weighed nothing, and a very heavy head. Now we're gonna have a very heavy head along with like very heavy everything else. Ow, I just poured hot glue onto myself on accident. So it's going to be a very big challenge to kind of weigh everything down right to make sure I don't break the endoskeleton or get it to stop like moving. Just because. Hello, Noah Allen. Welcome to the stream. Wait, hold on. Toy Freddy was originally listed at $100? That is way too much. Ooh, Molten Freddy. If you're doing fabric for Molten Freddy, I don't know. When I did Molten Freddy, I made him kind of like more flat. And I did all of his pieces individually, which wasn't the worst because like Molten Freddy, he doesn't have a very like 3D face for the most part. But I don't know, it's kind of tricky. Looking back on it, you could either make the entire what is it? You can either make the entire, like, Molten Freddy head and then cut it up into, like, the different chunks for his head, or you can do each of the different pieces separately. You could probably make each of the different pieces out of, like, EVA foam and then use a heat gun to kind of help bend them into the shapes that you want after you, like, cut them out. And it probably would turn out pretty good that way. And you could, like, spray paint it and it would look very nice. Which I probably will do eventually at some point. Just because I might want to remake Molten Freddy at some point. Not anytime soon, obviously, because I don't think my old Molten Freddy looks too bad, as is. But eventually, when I like will need an actual like Molten Freddy prop for something, going for remaking Molten Freddy might be a good idea. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting fabric over, what is it? This? Or the light blue fabric kind of over where his snout is. I'm gonna grab this just for kind of reference while I'm filling stuff out. Do I play Fortnite? I actually don't play Fortnite. I have the Epic Games launcher, but every game I get on it has kind of been bad. So I probably will not be getting Fortnite off of it, and I don't know. It's not really exactly my kind of game. I never was like a big fan of the whole Battle Royale game kind of thing. But like, if that's something that like you like or something, I'm obviously not gonna like get mad about that or anything like that. I know a lot of people give Fortnite a lot of, like, negative credit just because of all the people who like it and stuff, and I feel like that's completely unfair. The same thing's going on with Among Us now, actually. It's kind of funny to watch this cycle repeat over and over again with every popular game. Okay. So, we got like a nice little starting strip of fabric to kind of start out with here. So we're going to put some glue down onto the bottom jaw and then kind of lay it down onto the fabric, kind of like what we did when we first were wrapping this up in blue fabric, but we're only going to focus on the tip of this because, yeah. With like faux fur. Yeah, I have thought about it. If I do, I'm not going to use very long faux fur, and I'm going to, I don't know. It's going to be more similar to like what the plushies are made out of, pretty much, if I ever actually do that. If I figure out what the plushies are made out of, because now that I say it out loud, I don't think I actually know. I'm going to want to like stop this right here. Cut this. There we go. And then we're going to try to even it out. Straight line. Out. So far. Yeah, I think that is about the. Okay. So next up, we're going to glue the side, little wing down. Put too much hot glue. Off without burning myself. That all off. There we go. That was a good save. I almost put way too much hot glue. Side. Go. I have seen Skyward, or I have seen Skyward 33 stuff a couple times actually. I first came across them from my YouTube recommended after I had been uploading a bunch of like those FNAF cosplay stuff. Back when I still was doing cosplay. Make some pretty good stuff from what I've seen. So you know the plushie made with inky fabric. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. If it's too expensive, I probably will stick with this kind of fabric. If I was doing this stuff commercially, though, I may move to more expensive materials. Just because, I guess. Like, if I was making this for people, like, people were ordering my props and whatnot, then I would probably consider on making or using more expensive materials. It would still cost more, but I'd be giving people a better product in the long run, so I feel like that would all. Right. you for saying hello all the way from Brazil. Sorry, I'm getting like really quiet. Sometimes when I like focus on stuff, I start just like mumbling to myself. Just because, similar to how you guys have been forced to hear for that little duration of time. There we go. So now we got, oh, little piece of scrap stuck to there. Now we got the main base for the bottom jaw done so far. Look at that. That's looking pretty good so far. And the next thing we're going to need is to start cutting holes inside of this. So to do that, we're gonna scissors, obviously. We got one hole that's gotta come right around here. We're gonna kind of lightly snick, and then we're going to, I got reference images kind of like up right here for myself in case you missed me grabbing those earlier. We're gonna use that to kind of like guide cutting here. Some of the glue that I put down is kind of getting in the one whole thing. Other one. Just put the heck here. Oh no. Good luck charging your phone. There we go. This is giving me a lot of trouble. A lot more than it should, trying to like cut into this part. Just want to cut this one part, please. I was a little bit too overzealous with the hot glue, not really thinking about the fact that I still needed to cut holes in this area. And now I am paying the price for that. Finally got in. Right, that's perfect. So far we got these two holes in there, and then side. This one should be like me. I'm saying should because, you know, stuff normal. So, hopefully I didn't jinx it. That's about it. Alright, so now we got these 3 little holes here. This expand it. Just to kind of show the actual wither. Hey, look at that. I got that there, and like so. So the next and probably final step is we're going to need to go get some black fabric. To just get small bits of it. We don't need very big portions, just large enough to kind of like put underneath these little holes we just made. We're we're just gonna cut out these little things. That's the whole reason why I bought this black fabric, actually. Because I need stuff to underneath holes and stuff for some nightmare characters. So we gotta put one kind of like right here a little bit. Kind of carve this little piece of fabric size we need, and then we're going to kind of fold it down underneath here. So we're just gonna like insert it in. Like that. Just until the blue fabric kind of like surrounds it at all angles. Push it out. There we go. Okay, and we're going to glue this down right about here. Here. I'm gonna kind of put this down. And then while that's drying, we're gonna glue the other sections. Try not to put too much hot glue. Sometimes it happens, like what I just did, but you don't want the hot glue to be like visibly seeping around what you're trying to glue. For the most part, you don't want people to be able to see the hot glue. Sometimes it's a bit difficult, especially with here. So that looks pretty good. For the next bit is this. Ooh, okay. This little slab that we kind of trimmed off of the other one should be large enough to put into another one of the holes we cut out. This one back. No, it's about right. So we're going to insert this one in next too. Alright. No, sadly these are unwearable. I made this little hole for the head. It's wide enough. It needs to, if I wanted to wear it, I'd have to have it go out to here. But I'm not really, what is it? I'm not really too concerned with making it actually wearable because, as a lot of people probably know by now, I don't really focus on making my costumes completely wearable. And on top of that, Nightmare, there's a bar kind of preventing me from actually wearing the head where the eyeballs are going to go. So I'm kind of sacrificing wearability for kind of like realisticness, not realisticness, but like, no, I guess realisticness, because like, if I wanted to make it wearable, I need to do like 2D eyes or something like that. And that wouldn't really be how an animatronic's eyes would look. They would have like actual proper like 3D eyes and stuff. Almost done, kind of like tucking all this fabric in. Never be too. So now, start. Kind of gluing everything down in place so it doesn't like get jostled around later on. I'm kind of using the scissors to help like push stuff into place. Ooh, that like opposite effect. But I wanted it to, that like pulled part of it out, which is not good. Someone is knocking on the door. Hope they know that I'm in the middle of live streaming because my door is literally right there by my backdrop. So hopefully they don't come in and blow my backdrop away with the door opening. And then we're gonna have to do one more, we're gonna have to cut down one more little sheet of fabric. And we will be done for the day. So for the plushies, I'm mostly focusing on getting like the original 4 characters. So I would probably, the next two that I would get, I want to get the Sanchi version of Chica at the very least, because the Funko one looks like an abomination. So I would probably go for just getting the Chica one, and then I doubt I would actually go for, what is it? I probably wouldn't buy the Sanchi version of Bonnie just because it's more expensive, and the Funko one doesn't look that bad. So I would probably like go for that one in Funko's case. But I definitely want to get the Sanchi Chica without a doubt, because that one looks pretty good, and it came with the little mini cupcake. Ooh, this one's gonna be harder to tuck in, simply because of the fact of this. Well, it is very hot in my room. I should probably turn my fan on. I'll have to do that after the stream, but right now. And besides, I don't want any of like my fabric blowing around, stuff like that. Oh, so now we're gonna glue this final piece in place, and then that will be where we'll call it for the stream. After I finish letting this stuff dry. Because we've been doing this for almost an hour and a half, and that's about as much as I wanted to stream for today anyways. But yeah, that's pretty good so far. Fleece is pretty good. I'm gonna be using, what was it? I'm gonna be using fleece for, Fredbear. Just because that's all I could find. I couldn't find the normal flannel that I use. Anyways, there we go. Look at this. We got our final Nightmare Bonnie's bottom jaw. Well, we still gotta do the, one, I need to put like a little bar around here for his like little endo mouth thing, and then I'm gonna have to put what is it? I'm gonna have to put a I'm gonna have to put the teeth in. I don't know why, I completely lost my train of thought again. And I feel like that pretty much sums up this stream. I kept losing my train of thought over like the dumbest things. But yeah. Wait, the Funko Golden Freddy is worth 290? Or 200? That's still a lot. My god. Anyways, that's what we're gonna call it for the stream. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me rant on as I mindlessly build another segment to this prop head. It's coming together pretty nicely actually. So we after this, we're just going to need to do a lot of the minor details like teeth and stuff like that, and that should be pretty fun though. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a blast, and I hope to see you all in whatever I do next. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good night tonight. Bye!